Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I'm back with another movie review that gets me every time. I know it's fake, but it's just, life-size Freddy standing in my closet, looking at me. How'd you like to wake up to that? The new Halloween trailer shows a girl trying to close the closet door, and Michael's there, Michael Myers. What about Freddy? He's right there, in my closet. One of these nights I'm going to close it and it's going to open by itself and I'm not going to know. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another review. Been wanting to do this for a while. Going to be reviewing one of my favorite home invasion films. Okay, and there's a lot of home invasion films out there that I really do enjoy. Like You're Next. I really enjoyed You're Next. Funny Games I liked. Like, you know, I Spit on Your Grave. The original. And then, of course, the remake. I like the remake. Thought that was pretty good. Another one, High Tension. Psychological horror film. I guess you could call the Purge one. The first Purge. Home Alone. It's not a horror film, but it's still a home invasion film. It's a great flick. But when it comes to home invasion films, I mean, there's a lot out there that are just good movies. And the one that I'm going to review today is definitely in my top 5, for sure. I can't tell you what it would be, but it's one of my favorites. And it is The Strangers from 2008. Now, here's the thing. This review is coming before the other one, which was requested by, I think, Rosie Garcia. I think that's her name. Rosie Garcia. YouTuber wanted me to give my thoughts on Strangers Prey at Night. And I really want to give my thoughts, but I thought, you know, I'm going to review this one first. Because this is one that I've really wanted to talk about for a long time. A $9 million budget. And it made $82 million at the box office. Like, holy crap. Like, that was a good... You know, that was a good outlook on it. But Brian Bertino directed this, and the thing that I can tell you that makes this different from other, let's say, home invasion films or slashers is the cinematography. The slow panning shots, the faraway shots. Someone standing behind somebody in the background and it focuses on that. But it's the creepy vibe of the way this movie looks. And it's also quiet. This movie is quiet. It's like a quiet place, almost. I mean, when the main character is in the house, she's walking around and it's just like, it's crickets. It's crazy. This movie is basically about a couple who are out in the middle of nowhere pretty much at this place, at this house, and they are visited by 3 strangers. And out of the blue, they start terrorizing this couple for no reason at all. And I think that's what makes this movie scary, is the fact that they never had a motive. The only motive they had, well, the only reasoning there was behind this, behind these people coming to their house and doing this stuff, is because the girl says, because you were home. Liv Tyler says, why are you doing this to us? And she's like, because you were home. Well, that's a good answer. That's a good I mean, that's honest. Duh. Because you were home. If you weren't here, we would have missed you. Guess you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. I love that. I don't know. I love that response, because you were home. Right there, it even says it. So you got the guy who wears this sackcloth on his face, and then you got doll face and this other woman who has a mask on her face. And they kind of play around with the main characters a little bit. You know, they're in the house, then they're not in the house. Then they're in the house, they're moving shit, and then they're not in the house. They're swinging on the swing outside. They're in the barn. They're doing whatever. And I don't know. I like how they just play with them, and then all of a sudden, they start to like tie them up and do their thing. But it's got Liv Tyler as Kristen, and Scott Speedman is in this. So basically, like, okay, so they're girlfriend and boyfriend, and they are at a remote childhood home after a long evening from their friend's wedding reception, and he proposes to Liv Tyler. He proposes to his girlfriend, and she refuses it. And so they're not really getting along, but they're not like going at each other. They're just it's just kind of subtle a little bit. But he calls his friend Mike to pick him up in the morning. But this is like, okay, so just imagine this is, I mean, he's going to pick him up in the morning, but it's already like 4 a.m. and there's a knock at the door. Okay, and they're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. There's a knock at the door at 4 a.m. and it's this girl. And it's kind of shadowy a little bit, so you can't really make her out too well. But she asks if Tamara is there. Who? What the fuck? Who the fuck knocks at the door at 4 a.m. and asks if there's a random girl? Is Tamara there? So then she's told that she has the wrong house, and then she just leaves, right? And so, what's his name? James, Scott Speedman, there's a little bit of argument. He leaves to go get cigarettes, and he starts a fire in the fireplace or whatever. And they notice that stuff has been moved, and things are happening, actually. There's another knock at the door, and this time Liv Tyler actually tries to call James, and that's when it just goes crazy. The strangers show up. The guy's walking around with a sackcloth on his head. He's pretty cool. He's walking around, in the living room, and Liv Tyler like hides in this closet. And it's cool because we had that same exact one closet where you shut the doors, and it's got those, I wouldn't call them like blinds or anything, but you can see through them. It's hard for them to see you in the closet, but when you're in the closet, you can see them outside of the closet easy. And it's cool because the perspective is she's in the closet, and she's just looking through there. All of a sudden you don't see nothing, and then all of a sudden really slowly you see him. You see him just walk out, and he's just sitting there like really slow, just looking around. He kind of reminds me of Michael Myers, but he's sitting there walking around really slow, just taking his time. There's even one point where he sits down, and that's pretty much the whole movie is them trying to survive these people who are just playing with them at first. Eventually the friend shows up, things happen to him, and Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler end up getting, I want to say tortured in a way, but they're tied to chairs, and the strangers are standing in front of them, which is this shot right here. All three of them. And they're all standing in front of him, and one of the scenes is I wouldn't say it's hard to watch, but man, they take this big kitchen knife and they start stabbing Scott Speedman, and then they stab Liv Tyler. They're like bam, like this, and like do it really slow. And she's like, oh, like this, and like they start stabbing him. And it's just very, there was a quote in here. about why they decided to do that. I think, Brian Bertino had an inspiration of the film. He was thinking of the Manson family murders. And the Manson family, none of the victims knew about the Manson family and why it was happening to them. So he got fascinating with telling the victim's tale. And not filling it in with an FBI profile and not filing it with finding out that somebody's grandmother beat them and now they want to kill everybody. You read obituaries every day where someone is killed for a random reason. Yes, we may eventually find out why, but sometimes they don't find out. So that was the inspiration for Brian Bertino when he was thinking about the Tate murders. I agree. I think it's scarier when people kill people for a random reason. Not really like... I mean, I guess you could say it's like some kind of mental health issues, but like you know how people, some people will kill people out of revenge or out of like a hate crime or just some kind of reason like that. But if you just go up to somebody just because they were home, because you wanted to have a little fun, I think that's like the scariest thing. And that's what this is. It's just people who wanted to go and kill people for no freaking reason at all. It was also inspired by the unsolved Ketty Cabin murders of 1981 that occurred in a small vacation community in California, Sierra Nevada. So there's a lot of inspirations for this movie. But it's very, very well done. Very well shot. It's definitely got the creepy aspect. And there's not the cheap-ass jump scares either. It's not all about that. I think they do a very, very good job of, of kind of startling you when you think that the bad guy or the villain is going to be here, but he's really somewhere else. They do a really good job of that, and they really do a good job with the camera work, like I said, on focusing on the main character, and then you see someone behind, and it focuses kind of, you're watching them. You're watching them do, doing whatever, and then the main character reacting to something that's actually there, but the main character doesn't see them. So, but you do. I love that. I love just the camera work. That's like the best thing about this movie. It really is. But 2008, like I said, you got Liv Tyler, you got Scott Speedman, you got Gemma Ward, and she plays Dollface. You have Kip Weeks, who plays the Man in the Mask, and Laura Margolis, who plays Pinup Girl. There's not really a lot of people who appear in this film. Basically, you have like 6 or 7 people, that's about it. But the whole movie takes place pretty much in the house, except for when they go outside and do some of that. But the ending to this movie is kind of weird too, because the strangers are driving away in the truck and they don't have masks on. I think there's the guy and then there's the 2 women that are in this pickup truck, and they stop, and this boy is giving out like he's not giving out, I don't know if he's giving out Bibles or if he's religious, but the girl gets out of the truck and she's like, "Can I have one?" And she's like, or he asks her something, he's like, "Do you believe in God?" or something like that. They're going door to door. It's Dollface. Who plays Dollface again? Gemma Ward, who gets out of the truck. The boy asks if she's a sinner. And her reply to him is sometimes. We all sin, pretty much, but she's saying that she does sometimes. So as they drive away, Pin-Up Girl, who is played by Laura Margolis, states that it'll be easier next time. But the boys, these boys who were going door to door, discover Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman inside. But the ending reveals that Liv Tyler's still alive. Now, that doesn't mean that she, that doesn't mean anything. She could die after, but, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as Vacancy, because you're sitting there thinking, okay, Luke Wilson got his ass kicked. Okay, he got stabbed. He was laying on the ground for most of the third act of the film in Vacancy, and then all of a sudden at the end he's like, like he's awake, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I really was not expecting that. I thought he was actually dead. And Liv Tyler, I kind of thought the same thing, except for at the end. So this is a real simple film. Okay, not a lot to it. Just basically a couple, middle of nowhere, get visited by 3 strangers early in the morning, and they have to survive. That's it. Not much to the film, but because it's so simple, I think it worked. And I love the vibe. I love the vibe of the movie. This is the collector's edition from Scream Factory. A very, very nice edition. I'm definitely going to do an up-close and personal review of this, but yeah, it's got like a bunch of special features, and it looks really nice. They cleaned it up really nice here on Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a very, very cool film. I really love this one. It's, like I said, all the home invasion films like that I mentioned, this is definitely my top 5. I just cannot decide what number. So that'll be kind of interesting. I'm going to do a video coming up soon, my top 10 home invasion films. Now, it doesn't have to be just horror, okay? But, when you think of home invasion, you think it would be like a thriller or a horror movie because it's, deals with that kind of violence. I mean, there's also like Lifetime movies like that too. But I'm just going to name my top 10 home invasion films. And I guarantee you Home Alone will be in there, because Home Alone, whether you like it or not, is a home invasion film. It's a comedy, it's a family film. I still love it. But this is definitely in my top 5, for sure. So stay tuned for that video soon. So yeah, that's my review of The Strangers. If I had to give it a score, 1 through 10 or whatever, I would probably give this movie a solid 9. I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. I thought it was very, 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 very good, done very well. So, yeah, if you haven't seen The Strangers, definitely pick it up. Definitely give it a watch. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. If you're into slashers and good like cinematography and creepiness, very, very cool. It's also got some good, I want to say, themes to it too. I forgot who did. I'm gonna remember who did the music by Tom and Dandy. Tom and Dandy? Peter Sova did the cinematography. It was great. I gotta tell you. So anyway, yeah, that's The Strangers. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be reviewing the sequel, Strangers Prey at Night. And I have a few things to say about that movie. Overall, I liked it, but I'm going to save that for the review, and that's going to be a review that was requested. So stay tuned for that one coming up. And this is Rob signing off. Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Strangers. And, which one do you like better? Do you like The Strangers, or do you like the second one? Or what is some of your favorite home invasion films? Let me know that in the comments. Thank you very much for subscribing, for taking the time out of your day to stop by my channel and watch. I really do appreciate it. All the comments and stuff like that, all the requests, means a lot to me. And I'm going to be cranking out more videos, so stay tuned. See you guys in the next one. Anybody tries to invade my home, I'm going to send him after them. You think people wouldn't be scared if they saw him standing at the door?